All right, so very good. Thank you. Your PowerPoint slides will be the same as per last week, just that we have 3 additional cases. I think we'd like to go for the cases. Before we start on the cases, once again, let us go through the slides on this issue, which is on harm. Okay, now what is harm? A harm relationship, and how does a harm relationship affects a person? How does it manifest? Usually, usually a harm can be considered to be a third party problem. A harm is a third party problem, and so there is another person. So therefore, there's always another person who will tend to come in to betray, the person. Therefore, therefore harm is about betrayal. Harm is about preventing you from combining, preventing you from an opportunity. Therefore, usually harms are far more emotional. Harms are more about relationships. Harm lingers on for a very long time. Therefore, when we see that there is harm in the chart, therefore we can say that the person may have certain character flaw, certain things that makes the person scared, paranoid, or even suspicious of other people because of this harm relationship. Therefore, it is more psychological. No? Because when you read clash, now clash can mean physical, like accidents. Clash can be also relationship. Clash is fast and furious, but harms are slow and lingering. Therefore, that's where, as we go through harms, like what I discussed or shared with you last week, harm is essentially a feeling of betrayal, and it is very much psychological, emotional in nature, and it lingers on for a very long time, and it complicates and it compounds matter. Therefore, it's betrayal, it's stealing your either stealing your relationship away or stealing your something away from you. Okay, so as we look into harm, this is the chart. Take a look into the chart once again that we want to consider. Now here, of course, again, as we go through the study of metaphysics, there's always lots and lots of charts for you to look at. And sooner or later, you cannot remember all of them. You must come up with certain logic. There must be certain logic that you have in mind. Okay, so this is the chart. Now, here I've given you 3 samples, and these samples also shared with Dr. Joy. Yep, let's take a look into case sample 1. So let us take a look into case sample 1, an example of so narrated, has narrated this is a true case. Now, once again, I will also share one public figure, which is Pablo Escobar, and there's also a harm chart relationship to see whether or not we can actually map out harm in public. It's a bit more challenging. So usually harm is more personal. Sometimes harm is something that didn't take place. So therefore, very hard to consider. Okay, so now what I want to do now is to take a look into this chart. Take a look into this chart. And then when you have your sample, now, of course, in my sample chart, uh, the harm relationship is already mentioned. But let's take a look here. So as we plot a chart, so this person is born on 12th of December 2003. So the person is very young. And here we have of course, so this is a teenager, and we also would like to take a look into the hour. The hour is hour of the dragon. Okay, so now one by one, just like what we did last week, let's look into the first animal, which is the goat. The goat. Now, what does the goat harm with? What
The
does
rat.
it do? So
The
the
rat.
goat harms with the rat. Okay, so the goat harms with the rat. Now, if you cannot remember, harm, you remember combo. What does the goat combines with?
Ox.
Huh?
Good. Good
Huh?
combine. Horse.
Horse.
Goat combines with horse. Okay, so if you can remember the combo, if you can remember the combination, then goat combines with horse, then what clash with the horse?
Rat.
Right. Okay, so remember, so a harm relationship is between one combo and one clash. Okay, therefore it's always between one combo and one clash. Therefore harm uh, forms that third party problem. So you can see that's why it's called a third party problem. So harm is third party. Okay, of course, you know when we say third party in a relationship, you should know what it means. Third party. Therefore, the hidden party or the partner. So therefore, that's where you try to record if you can. I mean, like once again, no need to remember so many charts. Just understand the logic. Okay, so therefore, the goat will harm the rat. So the goat will harm the rat, or the rat will harm the goat. Therefore, there's a harm relationship. There's a harm. Now, the second one is, of course, what is it? This is the
Rat.
rat. So therefore, of course, the rat will then be the good. So in that case here, we already see there is a harm relationship. So there's a harm relationship. So you can see that the goat will harm the rat and the rat will harm the goat. Okay, so therefore we see that this is a harm relationship in the natal chart. In the natal chart.
This is double harm.
Huh?
Double harm.
Double harm. Oh yes, you are right. This is a double harm because over here has here. So therefore you can see there is a double harm. Alright, so very good. So therefore you can see that this is what we call a double. Okay, so in this double harm relationship, how do we want to map it out? How do we want to map it out in this double harm relationship? Okay, so now you can see that the person, so in the first part, we have established a harm relationship. It's a double harm, that's right. So therefore, what we have here is then of course known as the double harm relationship. Okay, so therefore this is a, oops, where did it go? Therefore you can always call a double harm relationship. So what does a double harm relationship actually tells you? Right, and so first of all, we need to know what is it, and we need to know when is it. Huh? What is it and when is it? So double harm relationship essentially means, what does it mean? It actually means that history repeats itself. History repeats itself. So it's the same animal, right? It's the same animal and it may be the same story. So the same animal and it's also the same story. All right. Now, in this double harm relationship, there's one further thing to add to it. What kind of harm will this be? What kind of harm will this be and when will it take place? Okay, so in the first part, the first harm will take place at a very early stage. So because this part is normally in your, this part here is normally in your early adult or teenager, because children, so this is when you're young, this is transition into your career pillar or your young adult, before you get married. Therefore, this part is like before you got married. So the harm will take place before you got married. Now, because you got married, now, first of all, if you can also recall from our earlier subject, we have the rat. Now, the rat represents indirect wealth. The rat is a kueh water. And what does kueh water means? Kueh water is the indirect wealth. Now, for this male, this is a male, what does indirect wealth represent?
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend. In terms of relationship, indirect wealth represents girlfriend. On top of that, peach blossom is the
Red.
yeah. Remember, this is Hai Mao Wei. Remember? Hai Mao Wei. In a Hai Mao Wei, the peach blossom for Hai, remember not how we remember it?
Red.
After Hai is Qi. Correct not? So Hai Mao Wei. So therefore, in the Hai Mao Wei, year pillar and it, the Qi is the peach blossom. So therefore, the red is the peach blossom. The indirect wealth is the girlfriend. And what is the goat represents? What does the goat represents? The goat represents the friend. So the goat represents the friend stuff. And the goat is the talent. The goat is the talent. So the goat is the talent stuff. Therefore, in this part, we can read that this person has the talent style. Remember 2 weeks ago, we covered the talent style. Right. So in this context, the reading of the hum may be translated to the friend harming the relationship with the girlfriend. So as it turns out, what happened is, what happened, of course, is that the person has a girlfriend, and the girlfriend was snatched away by a friend. Snatched away by a friend. And therefore, that would be the issue. So therefore, that's one. The one part is that was the case. Are we all right? Okay.
Yep.
Therefore, this is where we can try to see how we got a harm relationship, and then we need to know what kind of it. Now, usually when it comes to harm, look for relationship more so. More so. Of course, you can also translate it into things like health and wealth. We could, and there are also occasions. But in this case, there was a peach blossom, there was a, and so let's take a look into coming back to it. We have your weight. Therefore, this is where it says that the rat and the ox. So the rat and the ox combine. So the X and the ox combines to produce earth. Therefore, it's stability, trustworthiness, and security. And so when the goat flash away the ox, the hum, the rat, cause a sense of insecurity. Therefore, that is the relationship. Therefore, there's a sense of relationship. Okay, so therefore, that's the first hum. The first one. Now, because it is a double hum, as it is a double hum, we now take a look into the next relationship here. And the next relationship will now be between the rat and the goat. So for now, we have the rat and the goat. Again, there is hum. So this time, this is the second hum. And when will it happen? It will happen middle age. That's where the person would have got married. So when the person got married, the person activates. So it's activated the spouse pillar. And so when the spouse pillar is activated, the double formation comes in again. And so the same problem happens. The same problem happens. And this case of the problem, again, the good and the that harms each other. And again, it is a creation of a friend star to the indirect one. And so with this in mind, we can see that yet again the history repeats itself, and it shows that the wife left him for another person. So left him for another man. So therefore that would be double whammy, double. And so having two women who left him for somebody else definitely created a very deep scar in the relationship. Yeah, a very deep scar to the relationship. Therefore, it affects his personality. It affects his. I think this one. Yeah, so it will affect the relationship. And so another. Therefore, that is okay. So this is the first harm relationship that we can look at. First harm. Right. The questions I'm trying to answer, but it's not yet. So we're going to see. So far, this is a natal chart. So far, what we are looking at is natal chart. So natal chart means born. It is it is born as well. But now let's take a look into the possibility of what we call the visiting. Therefore, we have the case of the visiting harm. But before we do that, let's also map out. Now, what is the harm animal for the dragon? What's the harm animal for dragon? And you see what the harm animal for dragon. The harm animal for the dragon is the
Rabbit.
rabbit. Is the rabbit. The way to consider, of course, is that a rabbit wants to combine with dog. So rabbit wants to combine with dog. So rabbit wants to combine with dog, but then dog
A clash.
clash. Therefore, these are the pairing. So sooner or later you will come to realize that they are pairing, because clash and combine created a pair. Therefore, here where do we have? We have the mountain. And again, it's the same thing. The rabbit wants to combine with the dog, and the dragon will clash the dog. Therefore, harm. Therefore, the clash. So in a way, we can see, we try to read that the clash will prevent. So the clash will prevent the combination. So clash will prevent the combination. So basically, that's what harm is. Harm equals to clash, preventing combination. So you prevent it from combining. And so in the sample one example that we had just now, the prevention of combining is, the prevention, of course, is betrayal. So it's a sense of betrayal. So in that case here, in our earlier part, the goat betrays the rat. The goat betrays the rat. The goat harms the rat. The goat harms the rat. And therefore, for the first sample case, the goat is the friend. So the friend betrays the indirect wealth. If the friend betrays the indirect wealth, the friend betrays the wife or the girlfriend. Therefore, the peach blossom is the girlfriend. Now, the way to read it, of course, now, like I said, it is mostly relationship. Now, indirect wealth can also mean speculation. It can also mean money. Money. And therefore, this kind of a harm can be read in something like now, but can be read like something now. The other way around. What do I want to say? Let's say, for example, if I were to change the day master, if I were to change the day master G Earth to Wu Earth, if I were to change to Wu Earth. Now, if of course I'm just trying to create a hypothetical scenario. The hypothetical scenario is that if I were to change to, okay, sorry, let me just try to, okay, if I change to Wu Earth, it means that it will just be, the wife pillar will change already, the wife pillar will change. Now, what was, let me just try to get that in again. Okay, sorry. Uh, let, let me just get that sample again. Sample 1, which is 203. Let me take December. It's born in December. If the person is born just about 1 day before, let's just run another scenario. Yeah. So if I just talk about 1 day before, just 1 day, of course this will be another person, so therefore this is just another.
Pause.
So this is just 1 day before. So 1 day before will not be G Earth, it will be Wu Earth, Wu Earth, and it will be the horse. All right. So therefore,
One
of course,
harm, one flash.
one harm, one clash. Correct. And now this is a bit okay, a lot more complicated. One harm, one clash. Now, so that's why sometimes when we want to do birth selection, it's like, which one you want? 1 day, born 1 day earlier, born 1 day later. Okay, so if this is the case, then there will be a harm. Of course, there will be a harm because this will be the harm, and now this will be the clash. Therefore, there's a clash. So there's a harm and there's a clash that comes in to look into this. And then there is a combo, isn't it?
Yes.
There's a combo. Therefore, exactly this will be a very, very complicated part. So now you can create another complicated part. This is even further. Okay, now let's take it one day, one thing at a moment. Okay, but because it is just 1 day before, therefore this one is rock wealth. Therefore this one becomes rock wealth. And then this one becomes direct wealth. Therefore it becomes rock wealth and direct. All right. And so here, just now for our case, it was a friend star and an indirect wealth. And now this is a rock wealth, and this is a
Direct wealth.
Direct wealth. All right. So of course, direct wealth is wife. Direct wealth is wife. The peach blossom to see whether will the person's peach blossom. Of course, the peach blossom will still be the same. The red, so the red will still be the peach blossom. Therefore, this can be also interpreted as the same. That rock wealth is also your partner taking the wife away. So it can be read that way as well. It can be read. So it's a rock wealth taking your wife away, and earlier on, it was a friend taking away the girlfriend. No, indirect wealth. But of course, sometimes indirect wealth can be what we call speculation, investment. Therefore, it can be a concept of scammer. So if somebody got scammed, it can also be considered to be, because a scammer also betray your trust. Because victims of scams trusted the other person. They send money over, only later realize they have been conned. Therefore, a sense of harming, because it's also wealth, and also one part, something like a partner or wealth that comes into it as well. Okay, so we try to see that the harm is there. The harm is there, but different people, different people that comes in. Okay, but here we can see that there is a clash. Now, if there's a clash, you have to go back. To look into whether the clash is going to take place or not. Now, here, whether the clash will take place or not, first of all, we must establish what is going to clash with what. The clash is
Horse
where
and red.
horse and rat. But what season is this?
Horse and rat is fire. Produce fire. Horse.
No, season, season,
No, no,
season.
no. Oh,
Winter.
it's a winter.
The winter is season. It says, okay, the season is winter. Therefore, the rat is strong. The water is strong. Therefore, when the water is strong, will the fire be able to clash or not? Whether the
No.
fire, no. And furthermore, the fire is weak. The fire is weak because the combination between horse and goat are both also weak and trapped. Therefore, likely the combo will not take place. Okay, because here we will now have to remember that if because combiner can be combined away really. So combiner can also prevent the harm. So therefore, we now must be able to go back and read it. So when that means is the clash taking place, or is the combination taking place, or the harm taking place? Therefore, that will be that means one or the other. Looking into. Okay, all right. So that is one part of adding more layer into it. So we can move it.
So David,
Mhm.
because it is winter season, fire is weak, so cannot combo can happen, clash cannot happen. Is
Uh,
it?
More like clash can happen. No, okay, combo is weak. The combo is weak. Therefore, the clash can happen.
Clash can happen.
The clash can happen.
Because you say winter, winter water is strong, fire weak.
That means
So
okay.
can
That means it's like a fire water clash. Fire water clash. Who will win? The water will
water
win.
wind.
Water.
Okay,
Water
okay.
win. Water
Okay,
will
okay.
win. Water will
Cannot combo, can clash.
can clash because clash
Okay,
away already. Clash away.
okay.
Yeah? Into the sense. Yeah. Therefore, the okay. Now, okay, coming back to the original sample. This is just a hypothetical one. Coming back to original, we were talking about the dragon, and the dragon will have a harm relationship with the rabbit.
Rabbit.
Harm relationship. With rabbit. Therefore, let's take a look into when will the rabbit appears.
82.
Yes, that's right. 82. Okay. So if the so basically therefore the uh, rabbit will appear. So the rabbit will appear in that period. So rabbit will appear. Only in, but of course we also have the year of rabbits. Therefore we also have to look into what are the year of the rabbit. Therefore there may also be a harm to the relationship. Therefore, and 82, and of course, when we look into the natal chart, this one is also at an advanced age already. The person, that means the harm will take place much later. Much later. So if we are counseling this person, this person at the moment is young, very, very young. So if it's very young, no need to say anything. No need to kind of say, uh, uh, 50 years from now, you're going to have this problem. I think no need.
Cannot remember after
Cannot
that.
remember. You say no need. So there's nothing to say because there's a harm relationship that's coming your way. Yeah?
So David, even if a rabbit comes in a rabbit year, when he's in the 20s, for example, will the harm be activated?
The harm will be the harm may not really take place in a sense that when he's because it's like this. It's more like we can consider that when a person is a baby, this one is the relevant pillar. But when a person starts working or schooling, then you activate this pillar. When you got married, then you activate this pillar. When you got children and or investments, then you activate this pillar. Therefore, in a way, it's not activated yet.
Even though the visitor comes in a year.
Even it comes in the year.
Okay.
So the effect won't be strong.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, in a way, also you can read what does the hour pillar represent. The hour pillar represents your children. So the young person got no children, so you cannot read, hey, you will harm your children. That doesn't work.
Yep.
Will harm your investments. That also doesn't work. Will harm your output, your production. Doesn't work. So maybe at the end of the day, if a person is young, going to school, then maybe somebody stole your assignment. Therefore, that kind of reading is maybe that's where the harm manifests. That's where the harm manifests. Maybe the person got hurt, but the impact to the person's life is not much. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, so somebody stole your assignment and submitted, took credit for it, plagiarism, things like that. Of course, the emotions are there, the hurt is there, the betrayal is there. By the end of the day, the impact is there. But slowly later, when it's children, when it's investments, then it becomes more profound. Therefore, in this case, this one hit nam because at the advanced age, and then also harm to the people as well. Okay, so therefore that's just another issue. But in terms of health, the wood controls the wood controls the earth. Remember, I mean, of course, when the person is nearly at the end advanced age already, that means here we're considering that as the person age, one by one the elements will be taken out already. Therefore, this one will take out the dragon. So this one will take out the dragon. Then this one will take out the water. So slowly, one by one, the elements will be taken out already. So therefore, that's just also the other part. So to see whether so this harm will be a very critical pillar, hopefully not the final blow to the natal chart. So it's a harm, therefore it is becoming strong. Okay, so therefore but then that's the other dimension of the field. Okay, come. Let's take a look into your sample number one. Sample number two. Then we take a look into sample number two. Sample number two is quite clear because no useful god mentioned. Nothing. Therefore, this person has three useful gods and all three also absent. All right, so this is going to be quite a bit of a hard line, but if lucky enough, can be very rich, but mostly depending on external support. Okay, come, let's go through the chart one more time. The year is the pig. The year is the pig. What is the animal sign that harms the pig?
Monkey.
Okay, so the pig harms
Monkey.
the monkey. All right, so therefore this is the Shanghai betrayal. So again, the monkey wants to combine with the snake, but the pig will clash the snake. Therefore, the pig will prevent the snake from combining the monkey. Therefore, the pig will harm the monkey. And because the snake and the monkey is known as wisdom, intelligence, ability to generate money from movements, communication. So this betrayal is sentimental. Again, it's always a third party. And so how shall we read this? All right, so the next first part, the pig will have the monkey to rule. So pig will have the monkey to rule. And what is the second? The second is
Monkey.
The monkey.
What?
Oh,
Click
okay.
monkey.
Therefore, once again, this is yet another double
Harm.
harm.
Double
So again, this is another double harm formation. Huh? So there's a double harm formation. So therefore, there's a double harm formation. Okay, now in this case of a double harm formation, it's a double harm formation. Again, that's the pig harms the monkey harms the pig. So therefore, there's a double harm formation. And so now this is where we'll also read the double harm formation. And in this context, how do we interpret it? Again, the age. Again, the age. The age will tell us what kind of relationship this will be. And again, we have your, this time, the pig represents your direct resource. And
resource.
the monkey represents your direct officer. So it represents your direct officer. Okay, right? So it represents your direct officer. The direct officer, of course, is your boss. So direct officer is your work. And direct officer sitting on the career pillar. At this time, it may mean that it may be work. It may be work. Yeah, so in this case, when related. Now, to say when it's related, let us try to. So when it's related, coming back again to your. Sorry. Okay, so first of all, we have the Shanghai betrayal. So the Shanghai betrayal will be so in this context again, we will consider that this betrayal is as expected to be work related. Okay, so therefore, in the case. Now, to answer the question, we have a few questions. So the questions we have to address now is we take a look into activation from the luck pillar. Therefore, the harm, the clash, the combo, will it only be, so whenever there's a visiting element from the luck pillar. Now, let's say, for example, we have the, let's say, for example, we have the next case where we have the pig. Take a look into the pig. We have the pig. So in this case, the pig would like to combine, of course, with the tiger, but the snake will clash. So here, early on, we can see that the pig harms the monkey. The pig harms the monkey. But then here, when we have the snake harming the tiger, then monkey and tiger, they are a clash to each essence. Okay. So in that case here, we will have to read under when is the combination. Okay, now next part to it. So now as we come to the next part, let's take a look into Pablo Escobar. I do not know whether you, I'm sure many of you will be familiar with this person.
Drug lord.
Huh?
Drug lord.
Oh yes,
Mafia.
mafia, Colombian drug lord. At one time, he was the richest person on earth because of cocaine. So he has discovered cocaine. So Pablo Escobar. Okay lah. No offense to those who are Yeatwood. I hope I do not make anybody upset here. Nobody is Yeatwood. You know lah. When we talk about a tree, right? You know, we talk about tree. No, okay. Once again, no offense, because every time we talk about, you see, all the 10 elements, the wood, the fire, the water, all of them represents everything in this life. And usually when we talk about Pakcik, we always talk about beautiful things, or we talk about the sun, the mountain, the water. We talk about beautiful things. But sometimes we also need to understand that this world comprised of kidnappers, murderers, rapists, drug lords, and so on. And they too also represents part of these elements. So we must understand. No offense to all the Yeatwood people out there, but Yeatwood is also a parasite. Yeatwood is also a parasite. Of course, all other elements as in this way. Coincidentally, Najib is a Yeatwood. Okay. And most politicians are also Yeatwood. That's okay. All right. Therefore, we got so Yeatwood is a symbol of beautiful flowers, but then some Yeatwoods are parasites because they live off. The elements of other people. All right. Now, wood people are very needy one. Wood needs a lot of things. Therefore, when we look into the Yeatwood, again, earlier on, I was looking into a chart where they have no useful god. And when you look at this chart, also got no useful god. But then, Pablo Escobar has become one of the richest person on earth. And so, of course, we may be looking at this in hindsight bias, but let's take a look into his chart and see what element he has. What are the element he has? Born in winter, wood is strong. Born in winter, wood is strong. Is this wood rooted or unrooted? This wood
Unrooted.
is unrooted. So it's a strong wood, it is unrooted. If wood is not rooted, we need to see whether water is strong. And water is strong. There is a lot
Yes.
of water in this chart. Because
Yes.
if unrooted wood amongst water, it can become floating wood. It can become floating wood. So you got water here, you got water here, you got water here, and water here. So therefore, very, very bad. A lot of water. So a lot of water in this chart. Right. Therefore, he is wood with a lot of water that is unrooted. Therefore, he's quite a strong, but perhaps too much water. Now, wood people are very needy. What do they need? Well, they need the sunlight. He has pink fire. Does he have pink fire? No, he doesn't have pink fire. He doesn't have pink fire. And of course, he will need. So wood people need
Earth.
water. They need earth. Yeah, they need earth. And what kind of earth do they like? What kind of earth? Of course, all wood people like soft earth. They like chi earth.
The
Do
earth.
they find chi earth or not? Where do you find chi earth?
Yes.
Here. Where else?
And the day.
And the the spouse pillar and the got a lot of earth. A lot of chi earth. Rich, indirect wealth. Therefore, indirect wealth is for children. So therefore, He makes his money. He makes his money from society. Yeah? He makes his indirect wealth. He makes his money from society. His wealth, does he earn money directly or indirectly? So earn money
Indirect.
indirectly. Therefore, indirect, of course, in the older days, criminal intermediaries, agents. Therefore, Pablo Escobar started his career as a smuggler. So he earns money indirectly. Therefore, indirect wealth. Earn money without working. Without working. And then the indirect wealth is from the society pillar, the external pillar. Therefore, we can look at it in this context as well. All right, so we can consider that. Of course, Pablo Escobar will have many girlfriends. Many, all these are indirect wealth are also girlfriends. He would with a lot of water. Therefore, his personal life will have that effect as well. And not just that, look at his talent star. If you can remember, his talent star is
The earth element.
so earth element. Therefore, he is the talent star. So the talent star on the indirect wealth pillar, he has some very good positive star. Some very good positive star that he has, despite having no division. All right, but of course, when you look at the useful God chart or table, again, it is not carved in stone. You got to really look at it from a case-to-case basis. Case-to-case basis. That is very. All right. Okay, so now we come on into the harm formation. The first year pillar is the ox. Ox will harm with. Ox will harm with. What will the ox harm
Horse.
with? Ox will harm with the horse.
The horse,
Ox
correct.
harm with the and therefore, is there a harm relationship?
Yes.
Yes, there's a harm relationship.
Also double.
Also double. Therefore, there's a harm relationship, also double. The first one is separated, so therefore not so strong, but there's still harm relationship, of course, when we look into the horse. Therefore, there will be harm relationship horse when a horse arrives. So when a horse. Okay, so we do have what we call visiting. Therefore, as you look at the question that was coming in is that April, you mentioned visiting tiger comes to combine with the pig. Pig clash with monkey. So what is the consequence of the event? Okay, so I try to.
Sequence of events. Which happened first?
Which one happens first?
The sequence between this harm, clash, combo.
Okay. Which one comes first? Okay. Can we'll try to look for which one comes first. All right. So in the first instance, okay, let's just focus on the ox. Now, first of all, let's establish what does the ox clash with. The ox clash with the
Goat.
goat. So goat is here, Goat is here, what does the ox combine with?
Rat.
Combines with the rat. And therefore, in the natal chart, do you see rat? No. In the sequence
No.
of the life cycle, do you see rat? No. Okay. Therefore, do you see the clash? Therefore, there's a clash of the goat against the ox. Then only we have the horse that comes in to harm. No? Now, why does the horse harms the how does a horse harms the ox? Because the horse clashed with the rat. Okay, so if
Right.
the question asked is that visiting tiger comes to combine with the pig. That was the second question. So here in this chart, I can say the visiting goat comes to clash. It comes to clash because there's no combination. So it comes to clash. And therefore, after the clash, then the horse will come to harm. Because in this context here, in this chart, there is no rat. There is no rat. Okay or not? I hope that means something. Okay, but maybe in your question, maybe in the question, let me put it the other way around. Let's say assuming that this is a rat. Assuming that this is a rat. This is a rat. This is an ox. There is a combo. There is a combo. I think that's where a question comes in. There is a combo. And then here comes the horse. So the horse will come to clash with the rat. And then it will come to harm. It will come to harm. So in this context, that luck pillar is a very negative luck pillar. Because when the luck pillar comes in, it will clash with one and harm the other. It will come and clash and come to harm the other. Therefore, there will be a betrayal. So the betrayal by. Okay, so if I want to read this from a career point of view, something happens. Something happens to the career of the person. Something happens to the career of the person. And because of the event that happens to the person, the outside betray the person. Maybe like society. If you read them this point, society betrays the person after the person had a clash at work. It can be read this way. Or if you look at the 10 gods, you can also look at it from the EG and the direct resource. The EG clashing with the direct resource can also mean unexpected work, a lot of work related area that comes in that depletes away the resources, depletes away the revenue or the money of the person. Can also be seen in the luck. Right, so therefore that is one way to also consider. Okay, now okay, now let's take a look into it further. So therefore, but we do have the goat. So therefore the goat here. So you can read the goat. So the goat will clash with the ox. So the goat will clash with the ox in the bits of ox. Now let's continue this. Next one, we want to take a look into it again is your. The next one you take a look into it. This is your pig. Now once again, the pig harms with which one? I think we've covered this again and again already. The pig will harm the monkey. So the pig will harm the monkey. So the pig will harm the monkey. We have the pig here. We have the pig here. And do we have the monkey?
Yes.
The monkey. So therefore, this is visiting. Therefore, this is a visiting harm. So the visiting harm is where at that time there will be a visiting harm hitting against the direct resource. Therefore, it will be a sense of betrayal. In the sense of betrayal, this betrayal, of course, number one, this will be DO, direct officer, direct officer. So direct officer, career related, authority related, clashing into your direct resource, into your career, into your revenue, into your direct resource, into your revenue, into the hurting to this one. And of course, in this context, the DO, direct officer, is really the direct officer lah, the DEO lah, the Department of Enforcement, okay, okay, against his resource, against his revenue, in this particular. Okay, so actually at the end of the day, of course, this is a criminal, and essentially he was somehow along the line. I think there's a lot of story. There's a lot of long story behind it. But essentially, of course, eventually he was arrested, and subsequently he was killed. And some say he was killed by somebody whom he knew.
Betray him.
Betrayed him. Therefore, there's a sense of, all these drug cartels. Therefore, eventually he was murdered. He was shot. Therefore, there's also to know that the final part is because there's a double harm in this chart, and the harm part is the part into this part. Therefore, this part there was this betrayal to his ends. Okay, so anyway, a very quick way to look into harm is betrayal. Harm is about betrayal. Harm is about a third party. Harm is about a third party. So therefore, that's normally where we want to consider. So therefore, that's the thing. Now again, remember that what I said last week as well, that this betrayal is sometimes in their mind. Is in their mind. To them, they see themselves as being betrayed. They see themselves as being betrayed, even though sometimes it is not real. Sometimes it's not. Okay, so generally this would be considered to be a little bit more about looking into a person with harm in their charts, and also especially those with double harm. Okay, so therefore harm is far more serious. Harm is very far more serious if it is natal, if it is in a natal chart. Harm is far more serious if it is in a natal chart. And if it's a double harm, it has a very deep impact into the person's life. Very deep into the natal life. But if it is a visiting harm, the impact is much reduced. Impact is less. The impact is less.
So, David,
Yep.
I want to ask the harm if it actually my question I posted was relating to last Sunday's lesson. We had a pig and monkey in the year and month pillar. So this harm is in the earlier life, the first half of his life. So in the second half of the life, you won't harm him so much, is it?
Yeah, correct. Over already.
Over. Even though you may have the visiting animals to activate it, you don't have to worry about it in the second half life.
No, life not so much. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these two animals, the pig and monkey, which is permanent in the natal chart, will always be there to prevent a combo.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So, okay, we just remind me again. Can you remember the year is what? Pig or monkey?
The year is pig.
The year is
The
pig,
month is monkey.
monkey.
So it's a harm relationship, right?
All right.
Yes.
So
So
basically, it's
I'm
a snake lah.
no, if I'm thinking next year, tiger comes in. So
Oh, okay.
tiger combo pig and tiger clash monkey, right?
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Next year, tiger comes. Then we have the permanent harm relationship. So how to read this?
Okay. First,
What's the
okay. First,
sequence?
what's this? Oh, what's this? Okay, okay. That's your question, huh?
How it happens? This when tiger
Okay.
comes.
When the tiger comes, the tiger will want to combine with the pig, but in this context, it will fail to combine with the pig because it clashes with the monkey.
Mm.
Right? It clashes with the monkey. So that's where you can say that there's a harm relationship there. Huh? This is the harm relationship. Huh? So the harm relationship will prevent the tiger from combining with the pig.
Okay.
Ah.
So every 12 years when tiger comes, this will happen.
Yes, this will happen.
Mm.
Actually. But somehow,
Okay.
in certain occasion, okay, you're going to read it this way. If the tiger successfully combined with the pig, therefore the tiger combines away with the pig. Therefore, there will be the harm is removed. The harm is removed, and there's no clash.
Mm. Okay. That all depends on season of birth and the strength of day master lah.
Correct. The
Mm.
strength of day master and the season of correct.
Okay. Yeah, this is the part that I get confused lah when this three comes in, clash, combo, and harm. Trying to understand this.
Okay, let's see. Okay, in that case, let's take a look into. Let's try to create another scenario. I mean, just like it was a hypothetical case. So if you want to have, okay, can we pick? Okay, can we just? This is just off the chart. Can you pick a year where it was the year of the pig? When do we have the year of the pig?
2019.
2019.
2019. I know 2019. We were talking about a baby.
Oh.
So baby. 2019. We got 207.
Find a year. 200.
207, 1995.
Yes.
1995. Or how about that? 1995.
Yes.
Okay, and then we want the monkey. We want the monkey.
Monkey
Okay?
month
All right.
will be
August.
August.
Okay. Okay. Why don't we? Okay. We take this. We take this on the chart. Can we do that? Huh? We take
Yes.
this on the chart. Huh? So we take this. Huh? So we take this person. Huh? So now we take this person. So we take this person. So you mentioned just now, pig is on the year, and monkey is on the month. Right? Therefore, there's a harm relationship. Okay.
Yeah.
Therefore, okay. So now you identify that there's a harm relationship. So you are waiting for the tiger to come in.
Yeah.
So the tiger will come in here. The tiger will come in. So in the first part, the harm will take place in his or her early years, because it is in the year and the month pillar. So the harm has taken place early. So therefore, that's the first part. So we should read that the harm will take place already. The harm will take place because because the tiger only comes later. Therefore, during the early years, the tiger will not be there to do anything. Therefore, we have to read the harm. We have to read the harm. That is a harm. The harm will be, in a way, the indirect resource and your 7K. So 7K. So it may be work related. So it may be something to do with work. It may be something to do with, because what happens here is that, but then you can see that the snake will actually clash with the pig. So you also have to read on the other side. So it's not just the tiger, remember? You also have to consider the partner, the pet betrayal. So we talk about the pet betrayal. You have your pig and your monkey harm. There is a snake clashing with it and a yin tiger clashing with it. Therefore, in that case, we might as well read not the tiger but read the snake first. Because the snake is just numb. The snake is just numb. Also, when the person is about 20 years old, 21 years old, which is right at the pillar. Therefore, the snake will be the more crucial animal. So essentially, what does it mean? The snake wants to combine. The snake wants to combine with the monkey. And monkey and snake combinations are intelligent. They are about intelligent, about resource, about work. And this may fall into work related. 7K and EG. Maybe something to do with some design, intellectual property. Maybe the person has some idea about, young people nowadays, they want to talk about doing startup, they want to follow Jack Ma, Mark Zuckerberg. So maybe this guy is EG, he got his idea, he got his authority, he got work. And then here comes the indirect resource. So the indirect resource is the thing that will clash, with the snake, it will clash with the snake, and then causing the harm. And this indirect resource may be something like investor, maybe investor. Let's say angel investor, or private equity, venture capital, who want to support the person, but at the end of the day betrayed the person. Therefore, this may be the case. You can say that the person might be played out, betrayed, the third party betrayed, might be played out by the investor.
This is the year pillar. So,
this is the year pillar, correct? Excellent. Year pillar.
So we can relate to investment now. Investors.
This is not your investment, not your investment, but society, like external investors, correct? Society, in that sense, or your benefactor, your benefactor or your supporter. It could be a relationship. Could be a relationship that might result in taking away your idea. Something along the line. It can be read that way. It can be read that way. Okay. Normally, reading for relationship like love, like betrayal, love, if it's speech blossom, if it's wealth, indirect wealth, direct wealth, then it can be, because if it's direct wealth, indirect wealth, then the other person is a friend or a raw wealth already. This part is the EG and the resource and the 7K. So therefore, this is more work. And so in this case, it will be read that the person have to be careful not to share your idea so much with other people. Careful not to share your idea. Be careful.
In the 10 years,
during the 10 years, but if it's read during this investment part, right, then as and when the issue is about investment. Yeah, it could happen anytime. It could happen anytime. Not necessarily on any other animal year itself. Not necessary that you have to touch your pig ear or to touch your type, or not necessary.
Okay.
Okay, not necessarily the tiger ear as well. Maybe the tiger here could be an interesting part. Then all the four, then once the tiger comes in, then all four got double harm.
Mm.
Right? Because the snake is your luck pillar, and the tiger is your year pillar, your year luck. And this two comes in, then it becomes creating quite a complicated mess. That is a very ugly conflict. But other than that, okay, so that's how it can be read.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so read the harm, whether is it natal chart or whether it's visiting, and then look at the 10 gods to figure out what likely to be the kind of story that is to happen. It's a kind of likely story. Okay, right. But the thing is whether this person is strong. This person is quite a big game master. So a lot of issues. Got clashes and all that. Got harm here, got clash here. Quite a lot of challenges in life for this person.
Lucky, not real person.
Lucky not real person. Okay, free com, troubled relationship, a lot of issues. Wow. Yeah, it's going to be hard to play this person's character, to live through this person's life. Okay, all right. There you go. So this will be about harm. I think that's all the time that we could cover. So I think I'm going to try to look at your questions again. I think I've answered it a bit. If not, then I'll try to read it a bit again. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Thank you so much, David.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Good night.
Okay. Good night,
Good night,
Good night,
everyone.
everyone.
Okay, thank you.